Good evening, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Monday Nights with me, Dannie Stewart. Here on the NYPS network, and for those of you all who may not have a subscription or may not know where to find old episodes, all of that, you can go to www.nypsnetwork.com and you'll find all of my old episodes as well as DeMarc's old radio shows. Our archives are there, and Crew's radio shows as well. You can listen, comment, and let us know what you think. Also, you can find mine on YouTube as well. And you can find them on my Facebook page. So, yeah, 3 places to find mine. And if you'd like to contact me, give me any type of feedback or advice, or, give me a new topic or something like that, you can contact me at 202-599-1092. So, today's episode is, I'm going to give a lot of encouragement. I definitely read a post on Facebook yesterday that gave me something to talk about and something to think about, just, and apply it to my life and a couple other people's lives as well. But before I get to that message, I want to highlight the recent tragedy in Orlando. I did speak about it on Periscope, and that video is available on my Facebook page and the NYPS page, nypsnetwork.com as well. But I want to talk about the controversy that we're facing from the religious front, from the political front. It seems like all of that. And how I got to this, very interesting. I'm in class right now. Well, not in class literally, but I'm taking a class right now. I'm a student at Florida A&M University here in Tallahassee, Florida. Go Rattlers, shameless pub. But anyway, I'm taking a class, and my instructor was recanting to us a story of when she was studying abroad in Europe. And she her and her friend went to France. And a couple things happened. First off, when they were there, I forgot what city she said they were in. But they were in one city. This was before the Paris trip. They went to Paris, France. But in one place, they went to KFC, and the KFCs in Europe don't serve, or at that time did not serve, mashed potatoes with the chicken. And so she threw a hissy fit because she wanted mashed potatoes with her chicken, and they didn't sell mashed potatoes with the chicken. So it was just like a huge problem for her. And she told them that they need to find her some mashed potatoes for her chicken, which I was just like, what? Okay. Anyway, so that was the first thing that just kind of threw me off. Then they go to Paris, and I'm not sure if it's still in act right now, but during that time frame, and this is probably like the late 80s into the 90s, somewhere in there, she and her friend got off of the plane in Paris, and they were getting ready to embark on their journey through Paris and other parts of France. And they noticed that when they were going through the customs line that the agents didn't stamp their passports. Mind you, she was a law student. She has her Juris Doctorate now, but at the time she was a law student studying abroad, law school. I believe it was Oxford, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so she goes through customs, her and her friend. They don't get the stamp. And so they raise hell about not having their passport stamped because in their mind they wouldn't be able to get back through the airport and make it back to Oxford or wherever it was that they were living. So they raised hell about that. And in that instance, how airports are, you make a commotion or something like that, they're going to pull you aside into that little room on the side where they do cavity searches and all that other stuff for, people that seem a little funny that they don't want to put on the plane. And so that's where they put them. And she said they calmed down then once they got in that room because, they weren't sure what the people were going to do to them. And I'm pretty sure an agent or someone that spoke English came in and was able to explain to them that the United States and France had a treaty. I'm not sure if it's still in act, but they had a treaty that stated that French citizens and American citizens can cross each other's borders without having to get a passport stamp. They could come and go as they pleased. So, that was just like, boom, okay, y'all acting stupid and, for no reason. Ugh. So, anyway, so she goes on and she wanted to go to the Eiffel Tower. Her friend wanted to go back, home, just wanted to leave France because she was just kind of over the trip. And so she was like, well, I want to go see the Eiffel Tower. Let's go. So she convinces her to go to the Eiffel Tower. But they didn't speak any French. They didn't know, they didn't have like a book to translate. They didn't have a translator. So basically, they're running around Paris and other countries without knowing, the native tongue. So in France, mind you, they go to a train station and they want a ticket to the Eiffel Tower. Well, naturally, the agent at the train station speaks French. There's no one there to translate. So my instructor tells the lady that she needs to speak English because she's telling the lady that the French woman, you need to speak English because I don't know French and I want to go to the Eiffel Tower. So I'm going to need you to learn some English so I can go to the Eiffel Tower, just all of that. And I'm like in the back of the class, like, oh my God, you have no culture whatsoever. If I really wasn't interested in this class now, I'm more than enough not interested to not come back had it not been paid for. But you have no culture. That's all I could keep saying. Like, that's all I could keep saying to myself. You have no culture. You have no culture. It just floored me that she would go to another country and demand that they speak English as if that country was America or that America was the epitome of, life and living and, everybody else should know all of our history. And it floored me. It threw me for a loop. Because I'm the type of person, I look for differences in culture, the minute differences in culture. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. I live in Tallahassee, Florida now. And Tallahassee and Jacksonville are two different places. The culture's different. It's a college town student culture here. In Jacksonville, it's a large metropolitan, big city life culture. Both of them southern cities, so you get the southern hospitality feel, all of that. You get the soul food, the barbecue, all of that good stuff that comes with southern living. The good and the bad, you get all of that. But the cultures of the city are different. Where Jacksonville is teeming with life right now and there are people everywhere and a lot of stuff to do, there's not so much to do here in Tallahassee because the universities and colleges are pretty much out. It's summer semester. Not too many people stay for the summer. There won't be a whole lot going on until fall when football season kicks back in. And then spring semester, we know certain periods of spring semester are just really hot. Spring break, everything dies down for an entire week. And then it comes back to life, and then it dies back down the closer you get to the end of the semester. So the culture here is centered around student life. You have families and people that live here, but as far as the fun and the, activities and things like that that even bring out the rest of the city is centered around student life. So, those are just two differences of culture. And then from Jacksonville, Tallahassee to Tampa, there's a different culture in Tampa. And there's a different culture in Orlando versus the Jacksonville, versus the prior mention. And there's a different culture in Miami from all of the other 4 or 5 that I've mentioned. So just in Florida alone, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 different areas that have their own culture in itself in one state. Not to mention places that I've traveled, like New Orleans, Louisiana. I always reference New Orleans. I go there a lot. There's a completely different culture from the rest of every other place I've been. Alabama's another place where the culture is very different. Tennessee is another place where culture is very different from all those other states. They're different states, different type of people, all of that is different. So I know for certain that there are, when you get on a plane or a boat and you leave this country, I know that the culture is immensely different from anything that you know here. I mean, there may be remnants here and there of when, French people lived in, the Mississippi Valley area. There are a lot of things that the French settlers did that still live on to this day. A lot of language, a lot of customs, all types of things. So that area still has remnants of France, but it is not France. That culture of, French customs and living is mixed in with a lot of the the African slaves that lived there, the Creoles. So you have that all of that mixture of Creole and Cajun and Islander and all of that going on in the Mississippi Valley area. Well, what was known as the Mississippi Valley. And then like New England area and the DC metro area, the DMV, their culture is completely different, but I know that there are some remnants of the things that the settlers did there that still hold on to this day. So it's just there's a huge gap in American living. And this is my point. There's a huge gap in American living and the rest of the world. There's a very huge gap there. It seems that the only time that Americans realize that we are not the only people on the planet, well, I'm not going to say we, the only time that most Americans realize that America is not the only country, the only continent, and American people are not the only people on the planet is when some type of tragedy strikes, be it here in American soil or somewhere else in the world, but more specifically here. Because when it happens here, then we look to other places for help when it seems like we can't help ourselves. And so, but at any other given day, America, for most people, America is just it. There's nothing else. Things say made in China, and I'm pretty certain that there are some children and some adults in American cities and towns that couldn't tell you where China's located on what continent. Some people may believe that China is a continent. Just saying. So I say all of that to say, I hope that none of you all, as viewers, are desensitized from the differences in culture. I hope that you all appreciate the differences in culture around the world and even here from neighborhood to neighborhood, house to house. I hope that you all appreciate the differences in culture because culture is not an aspect of life that should separate us as people. Everyone has their own customs, everyone has their own, way of belief, walk of life, religion, all of that. But those things should unite us as one, not give different aspects to hate about someone else. I shouldn't hate someone because they choose to wear green on St. Patrick's Day when I feel that we should wear black because that was the day that a bunch of people were massacred. Not saying that that's what it's about, but I shouldn't hate someone because of that. I shouldn't hate an Irish person because they're Irish. I shouldn't hate, a Muslim person because they're Muslim. I shouldn't hate that. I should not hate people. As a Christian, or I shouldn't hate anyone for any reason because that's not what the Bible teaches us. And not any part that I've read or the one that I have. I'm not sure about the other ones that's out there, that belong to some hate groups, but I know that the parts that I've read, it's not in there. So I just hope that you all are not so Americanized, like my instructor, to you're blind to different aspects of culture and different aspects of life. I also work in the customer service industry. And in that industry, there are so many customers that come in that have no idea of the inner workings of our business. I work at Lowe's, home improvement. They have no idea of the inner workings of the store. I was actually talking to two cashiers at Barnes and Noble this past weekend when I was home. And um, this guy came in and he was asking about the chip reader. The chip readers are popping up on everybody's cars nowadays. And so businesses are trying to keep up with the times. And it takes a while for those systems to be integrated into what is the system that's already been working. Then you have to switch out all of the card readers. But most of them are inactive because it takes a while to get an entire region affixed to start those card readers so that the chip reader will actually work and function, and you can still swipe your card. Because if you like me, I'm not getting a new card until my old ones expire. One expires next year, the other expires the year after next. So I have a whole year before my cards expire. I'm not getting a new one unless they break or I lose them. But I'm not getting new ones just because I can say, oh, I have a chip, you know? Most businesses don't even have a chip reader that works. They're getting ready to, but that's something that's decided on a corporate level, a national level, or a global level, depending on what business you're working for. That's not something that's decided in the store. That's not something that the store manager has control over. And a lot of customers take for granted that everything that happens in each and every store is an individual decision based on the store manager. That's not how it goes. Yes, they can tell, they give us instruction on what to do and how they want the store to be ran, but they have somebody that they have to answer to. And usually that's how they divvy down all of the instruction that they're giving. And these are just, some secrets that some of you all may not know because you may not work in customer service. But some businesses are independently owned, like McDonald's, Dairy Queen, Raceway. There are some businesses that are independently owned. They're part of a franchise, but they're independently ran. So some things are just independent, like, no, we're not going to do that. But for the most part, if it's a part of a major national or global corporation, for the most part, there are things that they have to comply with. And for those, there are certain things that we can and cannot do. There are some people that come in and they believe that, if they want a specific plant that we do carry, it's okay to ask if we order that plant for them. But they don't realize that we have to order an entire truck worth of plants just for that one plant. We can't just say, oh, whatever farm, we just need you all to send us a gardenia, an August Beauty gardenia, one of the 3 gallons. It doesn't work that way. We have to order about 20 of those plus 100 to 200 more plants to fill up one order from one farm so that they can send us an order just so that one customer can get one plant. There are certain things that we can't do because of policies and contracts that we don't negotiate as store workers. We just do whatever the hell, whatever corporates they do. Essentially, that's what customer service is all about. Whatever corporates they do is what we do every single day. That's all that we do. That's the big secret. So I would hope that you all would take that into account the next time that you go to a McDonald's and, the fries they don't have any French fries, or they run out of syrup for the Coke, or their ice cream machine isn't working, or the next time you go to a Dairy Queen and they don't have peanuts for your sundae, or they don't have the caramel sauce that you want, or you go to any business or establishment and there's some type of inconvenience there, because I can guarantee you it is not on fault of your server or the person that you're directly interacting with. It's either at the fault of the truck driver, order processing. It's not in their control. Quite honestly, because of the way that we are, if we could magically create any and everything that people wanted, we would do it just so that people could get out of our face and leave us alone. Because customers get very rude and very disrespectful when there are certain inconveniences that are usually out of our control. We can't help that a customer came in 5 minutes ago and bought the last hibiscus, and you came in 5 minutes too late, and we don't have any more. People like them. And if you came in yesterday and you saw that they were there, you should have bought it yesterday. It's not my fault you didn't have the money to get it. So don't yell at me or, get rude with me about us not having something when you just didn't have the funds to get it when you saw it, or someone else came and bought it. Simple as that. Don't get upset with me if you can't get, some type of discount or something that you're looking for. Which kind of takes me on to the Orlando incident, with all of the hatred that's coming about those individual, some of those individuals because they're gay. That's not your place to judge. It's not your place to say or condemn. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. If you can't offer your condolences to somebody who has lost someone to a tragedy or like this one, or just to something that happens in a day-to-day life, failing of health, a car accident, something like that. If you can't offer condolences without being condescending and condemning them to hell or saying, well, if they didn't do this, then they wouldn't be there or this wouldn't happen, keep your mouth shut. Plain and simple. No one wants to hear any type of condescending comments about their loved one's lifestyle, or excuse me, not even lifestyle, their loved one's life and the way in which they chose to live it when their loved one has passed on. And it's not your place to say that's the reason why whatever happened to them happened, because you don't know. All you know is that it happened. They're not here anymore. So offer your comfort, offer some type of encouragement to that person or to those people. Don't give them your condescending condolences. No one wants that. No one wants that. It's unappreciated. It really is. Even if they say, oh, thank you so much, it's unappreciated. Don't do that. That just in itself, that's rude and disrespectful, not only to the person, but to the people that they left behind grieving. Keep it to yourself. And if you have to, don't show support. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's better than being condescending. Um, so I really hope that even if some of you all are just kind of born with that, or you live with that sense of entitlement where you feel like every time you walk into somewhere, everything needs to be there for you, be it the size pants you want, the size shoe you want, all of that good stuff. I hope that you all would take out time to just consider that the world doesn't owe you anything. That's something that my parents and the people that raised me taught me to understand about life. No one and nothing in this world owes you anything at all. So the sense of entitlement, the arrogance, that overabundance of pride that you have, drop it. Learn to humble yourself, because no one owes you. Life doesn't owe you anything at all. But it is a task of each person to give of themselves freely to other people to help uplift mankind, especially in situations like this. It is a task of every person to give love and compassion and empathy and sympathy to people in their hour of need, in day-to-day life, just encouraging people and helping people to see a better future. Like today, one of my favorite customers, Miss Juanita, came in, and she's the older lady. Her husband come in all the time, and she was looking for me. I was up on a ladder, fixing something today, and she came in looking for me. And one of my coworkers said, "Oh, Miss Juanita's in here to see you." And I looked over, and there she was, and she had an ankle brace on today, and I hadn't seen her with an ankle brace on ever. But she does complain about not having strength in her ankles, her feet, her legs, and it's not diabetes. They figured that out, but she's going to a neurologist to figure out what it is that's causing this pain and this weakness that she has sometimes in her leg. And so she said, Danny, which it really broke my heart for her to say it to me. I almost cried. She said, Danny, I never, ever, ever understood why people committed suicide until I got this age. She said, I'm in so much pain. It hurts to get up sometimes. She said, I'm hurting now just standing here talking to you. She said, I really wish the pain would stop. And she said, it seems like praying doesn't do anything because God seems so busy with other people. People getting shot and killed in places like Orlando. It seems like he's just so busy with everything else that he don't even hear me. And I said, he hear you. I said, Miss Juanita, he hear you. He hears you. Believe you me. You just have to believe that he does. And you have to have that faith that no matter what it is that you're going through, he's there with you. He feels your pain and he's going to bring you out. He's going to heal you, be it on this side or the next. And her husband walked up then and he went to messing with her. And they're a beautiful, beautiful couple. They've been married for 30 39 years, somewhere 39, 40 years. Beautiful couple. They still laugh and joke like they're teenagers. She cussed him out and he talking about she ain't nothing but selling out. She just selling out. It was so funny. But that moment with me and her just had where she was just talking about that, I was just like, don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. And that's just the type of person I am. Mind you, she's just a customer that comes in the store that I work in. I really don't know much more about her besides what she tells me. But every time she comes in there are some days where I've been kind of low. And she come in there, she give me a hug, she give me a kiss. She tell me, I just came in here to see my baby. As you know, you my baby. You and there's a couple more people here, but say, you my baby. I came in here to see you. It's always good to see you. And I say, it's good to see you too, Miss Juanita. And she always have something funny to say. She talk about her husband all the time and how he tell her she can't buy any more plants. And she said, "Where's my money? I buy what I want to with my money." It's just, her joking, and she lifts my spirit sometimes. But today, I took the opportunity to lift hers and to give her some form of encouragement. And I feel like if I don't do anything else for today, I've completed my mission for today. So I hope that you all would take that and use that as a goal each day. Find something that you can do to reach out and touch somebody and brighten up their day, lift their spirit in some way, shape, or form. Spread some type of kindness or some type of love. And if you're having a down day, look for those small bits of sunshine that's shining through those clouds over your head. Look for that. Don't focus on the rain and the clouds and the thunder and the lightning. Look for those bits of sunshine, those breaks in the cloud, because I promise you they're there. Even on the worst of days, there's some ray of sunshine there. And believe that it's going to come, even if you can't see it. Believe that it's there. You're going to find it. I can promise you. I'm not telling you anything that I heard or anything that I've read. I'm telling you what I know because I've done it. It's happened to me. So, again, I just want to hit that culture thing. American people seem to be so desensitized from caring and grieving and understanding their differences in the world and differences in people and showing emotions like empathy for people, well, empathy and feeling with people, or sympathy, feeling for people, and understanding what some other people may be going through. So I hope that you all have desensitized yourself from that form of thinking and living, because it's not a good way of life. And if you haven't, find some ways to, open up your mind and your heart to care about other people. I'm not saying go out and go broke trying to help people. Don't do that now. You still have to make a living for yourself and, take care of yourself. But train your mind and your heart to think and feel and in the best way for people. And that way your actions will follow. Train your mind and your heart to think what is in the best interest for not just me, but for other people like me. Train your heart to feel the emotions of people like you and their struggles that you may not have gone through, like homelessness, being put out, being ostracized from your family, growing up being abused for being who you are, be it gay, straight, or whatever. Abuse is something that some people don't. In the household growing up, some people don't live with that, but other people do. And that can be mental and physical abuse. So things like that, turning to drug addictions because of abuse or because of, not feeling confident as a person. Things like that. Train your mind and your heart to feel what a person may have felt and understand their situation. And then your actions will follow in the best way where you can try and help someone. Even if it's just sitting on the phone with them and talking to them until you talk them down from doing something crazy. Or you may even find a new friend in somebody. You never know. So please do that. That is just, this whole Americanized way of not feeling. Because she also made a comment about the Orlando tragedy. She said the sad thing is we're just so desensitized that we'll hoop and holler and mourn and cry for about 2 weeks, and then after about 2 weeks, maybe 3, everybody will move on and you'll stop hearing about Orlando and those 49 people. She said you'll stop hearing about it. The news will move on and everybody else will too. And I wanted to tell her that's not true, because honestly, in my grieving for these people in Orlando, I was also grieving for the people that died in Charleston, the 140 something children that were killed in Kenya. All of these different tragedies that have led up, Trayvon Martin. Um, it goes back. There's so many people that it kind of, I started to numb myself from it because they fit my demographic, but not so close to home that it was somewhere where I've been, somewhere that I've touched, I've physically seen, you know, uh, to the point where, yeah, that could have been me. That could have been me. Like there's just no denying it. There's no, okay, well, no, I don't really do that, or I don't go there, this and that, or whatever. No, that could have been me. Orlando's a place I frequent as well. So this go round, it was just like all of those emotions that I had been bottling up just came out. And I just had to release. I had to cry. I had to get upset about it, mad, all of that other stuff. So, you know, it's nothing wrong with that either. But don't desensitize yourselves from tragedies or the plights of the world and other people around you. It's no way to live. But anyway, so I'm moving on from that. Now I want to offer you all some encouragement. There was something that I read on Facebook the other day, and I'm going to read it to you all. And hopefully this touches somebody. It says that an elephant and a dog became pregnant at the same time. 3 months down the line, the dog gave birth to 6 puppies. 6 months later, the dog was pregnant again. In 9 months, on in 9 months, it gave birth to another dozen puppies. The pattern continued. On the 18th month, the dog approached the elephant, questioning, "Are you sure that you are pregnant? We became pregnant on the same day, and I've given birth 3 times over, and they're grown and becoming big dogs. Yet you're still pregnant. What's going on?" The elephant replied, "There is something I want you to understand. What I am carrying is not a puppy, but an elephant. I only give birth to one in 2 years. When my baby hits the ground, the earth feels it. When my baby crosses the road, human beings stop and watch in admiration. What I carry draws attention. What I'm carrying is mighty and great." And the message here is, don't lose faith when you see others receiving answers to their prayers. Don't be envious in others' testimony. If you haven't received your own blessings, don't despair. Say to yourself, "Mine is coming." And when it hits the surface of the earth, people shall yield to it in admiration. That hit home with me. That really hit home with me. And that was something that, in hindsight, looking at some other times in my life, had I read that, I probably would have burst into tears reading it. But it's one of those lessons of patience. In every trial, patience should be developed along with your faith. Your faith and your patience should grow hand in hand because it's going to take more patience to get through some storms and some tests, and it's going to take way more faith to overcome the obstacles that you're going to be faced with as you level up and you go from level to level in life. So I commend to you all, if you're going through anything right now, have patience and wait, because the end is coming. It's going to come, and you're not going to go through that forever. Don't take a temporary situation and make decisions that are lifelong, or make a lifelong situation out of something that is temporary. Don't make decisions that are going to harm you for the rest of your life or could be detrimental to you based off of something that will last for a couple months to a couple years. In the grand scheme of things, because we don't know how long we're here for, but in the grand scheme of things, even 2, 3 years is not a long time to be going through. Develop your patience and wait. And while you're waiting, learn what it is that you're supposed to learn during that test and that trial. Take out time to evaluate yourself. Take out time to get away from everything. Unplug, turn your phone off. All that good stuff that people talk about doing. I've done it. Get away from Facebook, get away from Instagram. It's okay to do that and detach yourself from the world for a little bit just so that you can evaluate what's going on inside of you and deal with your emotions. If you need a therapist, go seek out therapy. If you need a friend, I hope that you have friends that you can call on, real friends that you can call on. Go talk to mom. Go talk to dad if you have, and go talk to grandma if you have, a grandpa, whoever it is that you trust. Go talk to someone you trust so that you can get these things out and you can deal with your emotions in a healthy way. It's just very important to develop that patience and develop that understanding that everything that you see going on for other people is not necessarily what's needed for you and what's supposed to go on for you. Just because you see other people, it seems like they're zooming by in the fast lane of life, and you on the side of the road, ain't even walking. You just on the side of the road looking like, how is this happening to all of them? And it ain't happening to me. Don't do that because you're right where you need to be. It may not seem like it and it may not be what you want, but once you get past the things that you want and you start to gain a concept of the things that you need in life and what you need to do, which is best for you, you'll then come to understand that your temporary situation, your desert, your wilderness is only a temporary situation and it's right where you need to be because that's right where your blessing is going to come from once you get to that oasis or once something happens once you get further on down the road. But don't continue to stand in that envy, standing in that pride that's holding you back from reaching out and asking for help or holding you back from going and doing something that will actually help you. Don't continue to stand there in that messed up situation. Evaluate yourself, evaluate your options, and then work from there. And if one thing doesn't work, try something else. If the door doesn't open, I'm more than certain there's a window that you can hop through. And if you in a hallway and ain't no windows, I'm pretty sure there's some other doors that you need to go try. So don't get stuck on one option. Don't get stuck on, one set path and this is the only way there. There are multiple, numerous ways, countless ways to get to success. Because there are countless ways to fail. And there are countless people that have failed and now have reached success, some of which we know about, some of which we don't know about. But there are some very successful, wealthy people out here in the world. And all of them got to their level of success in different ways. And a lot of them were told no. Some of them was told hell no. So don't take your no's and your denials. One of my favorites is a blessing delayed is not a blessing denied. Sometimes, as much as you hope and you wish and pray that this is what's for you, and that goes not just for jobs and things like that, relationships too, friendships, opportunities, all of that. It goes for just about any and everything. A blessing delayed is not a blessing denied. Because later on, you might find out that this was something that I didn't need to do, and you would have been caught up in some type of dead end something. Or you'd have found out that that wasn't the guy for you because of X, Y, and Z. Or if you just keep on going after you just, okay, well, he fell through, so I'm just going to go on. And then boom, your Prince Charming or your queen walks into your life. And you see everything that could have went wrong over here, but it's going right over here. So don't think that the denials and no's are, oh my God, I'm just, something wrong with you. No, it's nothing wrong with you. I mean, well, it could be something wrong with you. And that's where the self-evaluation thing comes in. But it's not that you're a bad person or that, you're just, it's horrible and your life is just completely miserable. It takes probably, some bad decision making that you might have to fix in your life. And, you just move on from there. But evaluate yourself first, evaluate the situation next. And then from there, make your plan on how you're going to do better and not make the same mistakes that you made before that led you to wherever it is that you are in your given point in life. So take that time to do that. And again, like I said, I just can't stress enough, develop patience, develop faith, develop culture and understanding of other people's culture. Travel the world. Do the things that you want to do while you can do it, if you can do it. And if you can't, get yourself to a point where you can travel the world and do the things that you want to do. And go out and explore the culture. And please don't be like my instructor. Go to someone else's country and expect the amenities of living American life. Now, I'm not saying that American life is all bad. It's a wonderful place to live. I'm not saying that it's bad, but the socialization of being an American for some people is very detrimental to the way that they live and the way that they see the rest of the world. The perception, that's what I need. The perception of Americans and the perception that they have on the rest of the world is very blurred, is very skewed, and it kind of in to me, I'm really not surprised that a lot of countries hate Americans or don't treat Americans very well when they come and they realize that someone is an American. Because when most Americans go to other countries, they expect everything that they can get in America. They expect that those constitutional rights that we're promised and that we're afforded here to answer over there. And as you can see in some situations in North and South Korea, there are some people over there that are, sentenced to hard labor and lashings and all types of other things because they go over there and show their ass, their American ass, in North Korea, where America has no say so whatsoever of what goes on unless you're on American soil there, if there's an American base there. So, don't try and explore other people's culture and be very respectful. If you're not one of those people and you're not just into, going and eating, sitting on the floor and eating like Japanese and Chinese people do, or, enjoying the wine and the drinking and the partying of different areas, or food, just different kinds of food, period. And all are burgers and fries and pizza and all that other stuff, and it has to be made a certain way. And all you ever eating is barbecue, or you only want Big Mama's mashed potatoes and sweet potato and pie and potato salad, then traveling the world may not be for you. So, you know, but please don't go to other people's culture and be disrespectful. That is just and it makes it hard for Americans like me who love to travel the world and want to, experience different cultures and come back to, oh, I've been to Paris and all that carrying on. But anyway, I had to do something to try and make y'all laugh. I like to be grand just for a little bit. I've been to Paris, and I'm on my way to Jamaica, and then I come back speaking like a Jamaican. And I go to, somewhere else, and I come back speaking like them. I speak real fast like Chinese people, stuff like that. But in the meantime, in between time, people, to the victims of the Orlando tragedy, that are survivors, and to the families of those that are lost, I share my deepest condolences. I do pray that you all find strength and find comfort in this very, very dark time in your lives. And for those of you all that may be trying to figure out ways to donate or ways that you can be a part of and you can help, if you have money to donate, go and find someone that has a GoFundMe set up, or you can, call and donate money that way to one of the families directly. I'm pretty sure there are ways to be set up. I haven't researched it yet. But NYPS does have a link where you can donate money and funds. You go to www.nypsnetwork.com, and there are ways that you can donate funds to the families of the victims of the Orlando tragedy. Get involved with your community. Don't complain about police officers being in establishments and places. And please don't mistreat police officers. All of them aren't bad. All of them are not bad. All of them are not crooked like some of the ones that we see on some of those videos. And don't believe the hype and the propaganda that sometimes is pushed out, because some of those videos aren't as current as some people want you to think that they are. So don't treat officers as if all of them are trash, because all of them are not. There are a great deal of officers, some of which I know personally, that have the safety of not just white Americans, Black Americans, Hispanics. Every person in their eyes is someone that they need to serve and protect. And there are officers out there that live to serve and protect each and every person that they come in contact with. So don't believe the hype. Thank an officer the next time you see one, be it one that's off duty at the club or one that you just see passing by in a store or something like that. Take out time to stop and thank them for putting their life on the line. I've done it a couple times. So take out time to stop and thank them for the jobs that they do. They're not perfect. And, there's some things that they can't do. But for those that go above and beyond and do the things that they they know they shouldn't do because it's not proper protocol, but they do it anyway. Thank them for the things that they do, because it's not easy to get up every morning and put your life on the line for people. And it hurts some of them that people are so ungrateful for what they do. Not just police officers, but firefighters, but the police are the ones that get the bad rep because of the ones that are selfish and foolish. So be appreciative of police officers and security and the things that they provide for us. But also stay involved with your local governments, stay involved with the state governments and the national governments, and make sure that you have people in office that will have your interests and the interests of all people at their heart and at their mind and at the forefront of their policies and procedures that they're going to enact. This country is all about money. It's a big money making machine. But there are people in the world that do care, and there are ways to make money without sacrificing the safety and sanity of people and the rights of people. So with all of that, I hope that you all stay encouraged. I hope you all are blessed. And you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. If you had a rough Monday, guess what? Tuesday's around the corner. So look forward to that. And Wednesday's the next day, which is hump day. And that means 2 more days. And then boom, we back at the weekend. So anyway, enjoy your Monday and the rest of your Monday. Enjoy your week. Be blessed. Have fun. Be safe. And I love you. I'll see you next week.
Are you looking for urban, creative, intellectual, and socially forward LGBTQ media? The new National Youth Pride Services Network provides more than 1,000 live and on-demand hours of programming from and around the world on several platforms simultaneously, including YouTube, Periscope, radio, Apple TV, and Chromecast. With original programs from NYPS, the fastest-growing Black LGBTQ movement in the U.S., as well as from other amazing producers, you are sure to find something you like each and every day. For your free subscription, visit www.nypsnetwork.com today.